Yes, we're talking about Disturbed today. Oh, good old Disturbed. A great band. Another band that has a special place in my heart. Once again. I remember when I first heard Disturbed, when I first listened to them. It was their famous and kind of infamous Down with the Sickness song. You know that song. Pretty much everyone knows that song. Even people who don't even listen to Disturbed know that song and is aware of that song. And it's mainly because of the ooh-wah thing. Yeah, that moment. That's what it's more famously and also infamously known for. But, yeah. I remember when I first heard that. The song and the ooh-wah and everything. It was great. I loved it. I fell in love with Disturbed. They were, and thus I listened to more of them, and even fell more in love with them, I loved their more heavier, harder sound, because they were, they're considered heavy metal, they're considered hard rock, alternative rock, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I know a lot of genre elitists and genre purists out there don't consider them part of the heavy metal genre or whatever. Or, they don't consider them, oh, they're not real rock, they're not real heavy rock or hard rock or heavy metal or blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I always considered them that. And I love that. I love how, I love how heavy they sounded. And how hard the music was. And how explicit it was sometimes as well. Because I love that as a teenager. Growing up, you start really loving and enjoying the more heavier stuff, the more harder stuff, the more explicit stuff, I guess, yeah. Once, it was the beginning of my whole angsty thing, they weren't completely angsty, but they had a lot of music that had a lot of angst and aggressive tones and whatnot to them. And I love that. Teenage me loved that. Especially, since I was getting into the whole angsty phase of mine. And it was basically the start of it. So, yeah, I love that. They were amazing. And they still are amazing. I listen to them still to this day. I listen to the classics. Down with the Sickness, Stupefy, Indestructible, Shout 2000, Inside the Fire. That's a really good one. Because it's like really serious and kind of sad and depressing as well. And Prayer, that one really spoke with me because of my whole, turning away from religion, or turning away from my religious upbringing thing. That one really spoke to me, and I really liked that one. And then there was Land of Confusion, Liberate, Meaning of Life, Smashing Plates, I think that's what that's called. And many, 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 many others. They're just a great overall band. They were just amazing to me. And I loved every minute of them. And I still do. And even with the whole, kind of memey, corny, wah thing, I love that as well. I love how kind of meme they are at this point. And they're just amazing. I love them. I loved them then, and I still love them now. and yeah.
Oh, wow.